Hello, I'm Scott, the breathing guy. I will train you to locate, generate, activate core key energy in physical activity. This video series of driver swing mechanics with key energy, this is lesson 1. This is swing mechanics. Stage 1, address and taking the club back. And this is the first of the lower body. Shaping, forming, or development of it. That's from the hips down to feet and from feet up. This is the foundation part to develop your ritual for your driver swing mechanics. How you set this up affects the upper body and your ability of the hands to snap the club. Those are the 3 areas you would develop, is the hips, turning, shoulders rotating, and the hands snapping the club. So, let's begin on the first idea, and to understand that you have to practice to develop a sensation for your attitude generator. These are all components and terms that you will get familiar with in time. Basically, when you are setting up your driver swing, you have to be able to turn. How do you develop your turning ability of the hips? And angling the hips is very key to prevent back injuries. Bad or strains. You got back strains, injuries, and it's caused by how you shape your hips so many times on that. That's one of the causes. There's actually 2 causes for back damage or challenges. And the first one is how you shape your hips at address. This is, like I said, this is about address, the swing mechanics. So, what we have to do is understand is what's the difference for the driver swing to maximize hip turning ability. When you turn, I'm going to turn like this, and what you got to develop that forward address of tipping the body. Now, what happens in most cases, there's 2 things most people do that hurts them. One, they don't eliminate the arch in their back. That's right here. See, look right here. Here's my back. Here's the gap between the 2. You want to eliminate it there by tipping the hips. Why? You can test this. If you have an arch, lean forward, turn your foot out 20, and try to turn with that arch, you can feel a kink. But if you inhale, first tip hips, inhale, squeeze glutes, and then tip forward. See how you can turn your hips? By having the arch in your back, your hips are stuck. It actually locks up with the spine right around here. So how do you eliminate that? There's a technique. Always think of what you have to do. And the first thing you have to do is tip your hips to where you want it. Then by pushing your belly button out to inhale, squeezing down here, the glutes, not here, but here. Just a little bit, not hard. The golf swing is not about being hard or strong. It's about being fluid. So there. You can actually see how you can turn your hips better versus if you have it like this. Like you get here stuck, but if you get like this, you can go all the way through. The next thing you have to understand about the driver swing is the heel. The heel, driving your focus. What should you first? When you decide to get up and go to the box, what's the first thing the mind should focus on? Develop, get the sensation from, is your feet. And then they're connected to your hips. And by going like this, here, first thing you have to do is go to your feet and feel your feet, the ball of your feet of both sides, left and right, forward and backwards. And what you want to do there is turn out the left foot 22 degrees, develop that now, here, and have the foot here. And you inhale, tip your hips, inhale, tight here, a little bit here, you push it out. Don't pull it in, push it out, just a hair, doesn't have to go far, pull the glutes up, and then do this. Turn the heel, think of turning the heel, pushing off the ball and turning the heel, and it has to be perfectly up and down, not like this, not like this. This is the ritual you want to develop. That is the maximum position of your hip. Makes it strong. You go like this, good, you're strong. You go over like this, it over rotates your hips and it twists you needlessly in the hip joint involved. So the whole idea of the lower body development, so you can support the rotation of the shoulders, is the idea. The better you make the coil through here, the more fluid you can make the shoulders. You'll get the sensation. So the first thing you want to learn is, one, your foot is straight. It's not turned out, it's not turned in, it is straight. There's a reason why you do that. Because you got shifting, you got two actions in the hips. You got shift and turn, and angle, actually three, my mistake, three angles. We'll get to the third one, that's like the last, and that's really the hardest one, how to angle your spine. But anyway, so the first thing is the feet, turn here, here, turn 22. Now, the next thing when you lean forward, do not, I repeat, do not do this. When you lean forward, see how my tailbone goes over my heels. Balance is the key. You make all movement off the ball of the foot, not off the heel. You start off the heel, it's going to limit the turn, then you have to go to ball to turn your hips. Very hard to turn and you're on your heel. It's just that you literally have to go to the ball. And why have the extra movement? Two, you can't turn fast. So the whole idea of turning the hips is the key element in angling them. That's the other part. So the whole idea here is, so when you lean forward, you want to be like this. See how my is forward. You want to create a balance of 60-40. 60% on the ball, 40% on the heel. When you do this, what a lot of golfers do, I mean even pros, here, they do that. And what that does, believe it or not, when you put your tailbone like this, you have to start the downswing with your shoulders, not with the hips. It locks the hips in place. When you want the driver, you always want to start the swing with your hips. We will get very detailed on how to create the swing mechanics and the sensations to do the swing. There's two parts. You got the mechanics itself, but you got to create the sensations to do it as well. That develops the ritual that you do every time you get up there on the tee box. So again, you turn out 22 for an exercise. You got to make that foot, inhale, tip your hips. That's the first thing you do. Then you press down on the ball of the foot, and here's the key element here. Most people, the last thing you want is to be, when you start your swing, is to move look at the foot, to go like this. Have that foot go out there. That destroys the coil. You want to keep pressure on the ball. You want the minimum amount of turn to get the maximum amount of speed for the turning. As soon as you do this, you'll be able to turn your hips more, but there's no rotational force. I shouldn't say no. The rotational force is very limited compared if you keep it on the ball and you control that whole leg muscle. It's all like Ben Hogan's drawing, all on the inside of your leg. That's the key. In the 4 components, he shows that in that drawings I have. So you have, the fact is your leg is straight, feet is always straight, 1. 2, you angle your ankle in. Think of your ankle, not your knee, not like that, just the ankle. That's it. So my leg is straight, doesn't move, and you keep the pressure there. The full time you're going back. That's a whole exercise in itself. It develops your strength there. And then when you do this very slowly, we pull up on the left toe a little bit so the right knee comes over, and then for an exercise, squeeze the knees together. Soften shoulders. Learn to squeeze the knees. And 2, you'll see my foot, as you pull the toe up, you go on the side of your foot and it rotates from the front to the heel. So there's a whole way of creating that circle. The whole idea of the lower body is creating that circle with the hips. That's the key. So you're going from the front of the left foot to the back heel and up as the knees come around and involved. That's the form for the hips. So review for basic swing mechanics of the lower body is front foot's forward, press on the ball, and keep that pressure on the ball. Left foot out, pressure on the ball. For now, this is pure exercise. When you lean forward, now how to practice that? Get a golf club, put it at the hip flexors, and think of the chest being straight. Now let's tip your hips forward, inhale, tight, pull up on piriformis muscle, and then lean forward like that. Then you can bring it out, and then bend knees, drop knees. The sequence of events makes a difference in the way engagement of selective muscles are in your ritual to do the swing. Finding the most effective muscle form by shaping your body in a ritualistic way to release all the force that you can in your golf swing. So that by using this as an exercise, then next phase is as an exercise, then turn up and around. But the first stage is learning just to do this and squeezing your knees together develops the internal muscle and softens shoulders. Making the upper body fluid, soft, is key part of the whole program. You do not want to start your swing in the upper body for the driver. Whatever part of the body has the most strength sensation is what the mind's going to use to drive the club. So look for, this is lesson 1 of lower body development of the hips to turn. And this, look for the next one. We'll go into more details. Practice the exercise, and we'll go into the footwork of swinging the driver. So have a good day. This is Scott, the breathing guy, signing off.